Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakrak Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000. Shalom to you. To all the hopeful elect scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom means peace to you. Alright, today we're going to go into famine. Famine. And we'll probably, we'll touch base a little bit on martial law. Because that is what's right here at our doorstep, ladies and gentlemen. Akim and Aqua. You got to understand that, very serious impending dangers. Serious times are approaching. This ain't no fairy tale and just, to fear among you, ruin your day. No, this is, it's live. It's real life. It's reality. So, people are literally going to starve out here. And so, we're going to go into scriptures to let you know, it's for warning, it's for education. Those of you that are learning, it's to edify you. Edify means to build you up. Because you got to be built up. It's kind of like running a marathon, Can you just run a marathon? No, you have to train for it. It's easier said than done. Like someone says, they're going to, run a marathon. But, like just because someone says that they're going to train and do it, what if that day comes and then they don't finish it? Same thing with us. Because we don't know that we're going to make it, but we're hoping. So, we're training for it, just like that marathon. So we're training, we're preparing mentally, spiritually, physically, not too bad. Because, the flesh, it helps to stay healthy, but it's not like, that's not going to ultimately save you, to have a six-pack and be all in shape, Yes, there's benefits, because you're healthy, and stuff like that. But that's not ultimately going to save you, you see? So let's start off today in the book of Ezekiel. Just to, we're going to show you the, the severity, the seriousness. You have to really be ready out here because just like that marathon, you may be training, in your mind, you're like, yeah, I can do it, I can do it. But, once you're out there, it's a whole nother ballgame. Same thing with people when they go to war, for anything, a test. Let's say you're training for that, you're studying for your test, for your finals. Let's say you're going to get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, whatever. It's nothing like that test, because, yeah, you can study, take all these quizzes, but on the actual day, you never really know, So, yeah, you can be, mentally ready, but is there any guarantees that you're going to pass? It's not, Oh, absolutely. So this is why, you can hope for mercy, but none of us don't know. See, but that's the beautiful thing, because we're all fighting that same fight. We're on the trenches. See, Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16 and 17. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, that's the Lord, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff for bread. So let's explain this and break this down. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. When the Lord, is sending, the dangers, the wars, because it's time for judgment. Straight up. Remember, don't worry about the scoffers, because everyone has to pay for their tab. So, if people, they hate the Lord, that's fine. I know sometimes it may get, you may get disturbed and stuff like that, but don't worry about it. Just keep on trucking. Just keep on doing your best. And don't even worry about it. If you fall, yourself, if you have slip-ups, tell the Lord Salakia. That means, Lord, please forgive me. And just keep it moving. Keep going. Keep striving. That's why the Lord says, a just man falleth 7 times, but get it up again. All right, that's in the book of Proverbs, in the 24th chapter. See, so yeah, I mean, just don't give up because whatever. Like, let's say you're having hard times, financial problems, problems with your spouse, whatever, problems at work. You gotta understand that your life, and then remember those who you care about, like your household, your sons or daughters, whatever, whoever you're praying for. Remember, they're what about them too? Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 16. When I shall send, so the Lord's sending, the Lord was bringing all this because it's time for judgment, ladies and gentlemen. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, evil meaning bad times, because famine meaning starvation, no food, no water. I mean, can you imagine sometimes, those, those of you guys out there that live check to check, you know, uh, it's sometimes it's hard, because you can barely afford, for rent. Like, damn, you barely have enough food for food, and you just, you barely have just enough to get by. Hey, remember that song? Just to get by, just to get by. All right, so how much more, especially those of you that have families, like in the book of Ezra, it was woe unto you. I believe, Ezra said, woe unto you that give suck in those days, because woe unto you that have small children. Because just imagine when society shut down, people are tearing each other up limb for limb, for answers just to survive, panicking. All right, now can you imagine? Like that's hard for imagine even like a soldier to survive, because you have to fight. You gotta protect yourself. Let's say you get in a cut. Let's say you get in a fight. Let's say you win that fight, but let's say you got stabbed. Let's say you got hit in the face, whatever you got kneed in the face, and you're gonna have to heal yourself. Rest. All right. So how much more if you have children with you? Imagine it's gonna be hard enough for a soldier, a tough person, a woman or a man, that's a soldier to make it. So can you imagine those of you that have families? Because not only you gotta take care of yourself, you gotta watch out for your children and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. It's very serious. It's very serious, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, I've been getting that a lot in the spirit, through the Lord. I've been seeing a lot of locusts. I've been seeing a lot, and that's a spiritual sign, from the Lord. Just I've been seeing that a lot. I've been seeing that a whole lot lately. So that's just the Lord saying, prepare, because He's about to bring a famine. By Him, the Lord's gonna bring it, or two, because the Lord's gonna use the elites to shut this bad boy down. However they do it, because they're buying up the farmlands. They control everything. And I'm not gonna go into further detail into that, but ultimately the Lord's gonna bring it, and that famine is coming in a serious way. It's very serious, because can you imagine? You can't. Let's say when these FRNs crash or whatever. Remember the first pandemic when it was all shut down, but at least there was still food. Can you imagine when there's no food? And they shut down the trucks. There's nothing coming in, nothing coming out. And let's say there's martial law troops, and that's very serious too. That's something else I want to for you guys to focus on is starvation, but also martial law. It goes hand in hand. All right, because those two things are going to be happening at the same time. So can you imagine? You can't even leave your house. The authorities, the news are saying, hey, don't leave your house. But it's like, okay, well, what if I ran out of food? And you're like, okay, well, I have to go out there and get it. Then what if there's UN troops, martial law troops out there saying, if you come outside your house, you will be shot. And imagine, your kids, your children are crying, and this is real, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine you can't do nothing. You're like, hey, well, I have to. And then you just have to suffer and watch your family, your loved ones, just perish and just, be in pain because there's no food, no water. Remember, and martial law and all that, they shut down the phones, they shut down the internet a lot of times. Imagine they shut down the power. So let's say, okay, you have no water, like, you shouldn't be drinking sink water, but it's still an option. Like, let's say, worst comes to worst, you guys can drink sink water. I mean, yeah, it's bad for you, it has fluoride, but you can take a couple sips. It's better than nothing. Like, yeah, it's a little, it has fluoride, but I mean, come on, if you really had to drink a little bit of water, you can drink a little bit. I mean, I'm not suggesting just drink a lot, but like, let's say if you're in an emergency and that sink water was still running, yes, it's bad, but it's not going to kill you. I mean, you can drink it, you know. Let's say that's emergency, but that's going to be shut off, you know, and that's going to be contaminated, you know. Just like remember in Egypt remember when the water was plagued to blood and all that. Yeah, so that's going to be plagued. You know, the water is going to be plagued. Oh yeah, you know, not only that, you know, if they shut down the power, that's no running water. You can't take a shower. Remember, no lights, no electricity. You can't charge your cell phones, your iPads. No TV, no toilets, no toilets. Imagine you can't. You know, you probably when they shut it off, you probably got what, one or two flushes. That's it. You know, so not, you know, imagine that. No toilets, no sink water, no showers. All right, and those of you that have been out there, you know, like those of you that, you know, been in, you know, war or whatever, or, you know, grew up poor, whatever. Let's say you're like in a hard time. You know, some of you kind of went homeless for a little while. You know how it is. Let's say you go, you know, 2 or 3 days without a shower, you know, without clean clothes and all that. That can get irritating, you know, because, you know, like, damn, you know, not only, you know, like, because you feel, it's like a mental thing, you know. But can you imagine, like, you know, there's nothing out there, and like you're out there, like in the city. Because a lot of you, you know, there's no telling that there's gonna be, you're not gonna be able to make it back to your home, you know. Because what if like right now they declare martial law, like right now, you know, they just swoop in, you know. A lot of us are at work. A lot of us, you know, let's say like, you know, you're hanging out with your coworkers, your friends. A lot of you are not gonna be able to make it back home to your families. Facts. Some of you are. But, you know, because they're not going to tell you what's the day and time they're going to shut it down. And how many of us work at least, you know, 20, 30 miles from home? So they're going to be barricades, checkpoints, and you're not going to be able to cross it without military clearance. Facts, you know? Because the difference between police officers and soldiers, officers, they can hear you out, you know? You can tell them their story. They'll hear you out. Soldiers, they got orders. That's it. So let's continue. Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 16, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine. So the Lord is sending, okay, upon them, everybody in the world, the evil, meaning bad, arrows of famine. Okay, so it's an instrument. Okay, the Lord, it's like an instrument, all right, because how, you know, what's the instrument to destroy you? Maybe a gun, whatever. So the Lord's going to use famine, okay, starvation, to destroy a lot of you knuckleheads out here. Okay, those of you that are acting silly. Yep, absolutely. Because, because a lot of you, you know, your mortals are misbehaving. Oh, absolutely. You know, but with a smile. I mean, come on, because a lot of people, you know, the hopeful elect, they have slip-ups and stuff, but at least they feel bad about it, you know, when they sin or go off. You know, they're like, damn, you know. But the thing about the wicked, you guys rejoice in it. You know, you guys are proud about it. Like, yeah, you know, I'm wicked. You know, hell with the Lord. So, you know, your end's going to be very painful. Very painful. Facts. Evil arrows of famine, so starvation, which shall be for their destruction. Oh, yeah. So the Lord's not just going to have these elites, and the Lord himself, he's not going to just shut down the cities and, you know, plague the food and all that just for a scare tactic. It's for your destruction. It's to destroy you. You know, so it's not like, you know, like you're just going to be punished and, all right, you know, a little slap in the wrist. No, this famine is a very serious famine coming. It's for your destruction. Remember that. It's not just for your hard times to test, to see, you know, because for the wicked, I mean, for the righteous, yes, it is a test. Okay? For the wicked, yes, for the righteous, it is a test, because the Lord's going to test you, but he's going to get you plenty of food. And we'll cover that in Isaiah chapter 65, that the Lord's going to feed you. But for the wicked, it is to destroy you. It's not like, okay, you know, these cities are just, there's no food for, there's no food for a meanwhile, you know, we'll get through it. No, this famine is for your destruction, for the wicked out there. So it ain't like just, oh, it's just a test and, oh, honey, we'll get through it. Nuh-uh. All right, because this famine is for your destruction. It's coming from the Lord, and he's going to use the elites, the left-hand side, whoever he wants to bring it. But ultimately, who's controlling it? It's the Lord, because we're in judgment time. Oh yeah. And which I, see, the Lord will send to destroy you. There it is. See that? Because the Lord's sending it to what? To destroy you. Because it ain't just to scare you, to tell you, hey, shame on you. No, it's literally to destroy you. So remember, when that famine comes to all you wicked out there that are atheists and you hate the Lord and all that, that's all good. But remember, that famine is to destroy you. So it ain't like, don't worry about it, honey, when your kids, your children. I'm saying kids, Akia Manakia, and Akwat Salakia, just to, for those people, who, just coming into this thing, because the correct way to say it is children, but that way you just, you're following me, you're on the same page. All right. But when your kids, your children, your family are, crying, and, those of you that are head of your households, you're like, damn, we'll get through it. No, you're not. You got to understand, when that destruction hits, you're going to know a prophet has been among you, because a prophet told you famine is coming. And if you don't repent, you and your family will be destroyed painfully. And remember, the Lord is not just going to be, if I die, I die quick. Okay, the Lord is going to make you feel everything. All right? Remember the Lord's son, Yahushai. Okay, Yahweh's son, Yahushai. He felt those nails when he had to go on the cross. Okay, did he have the Romans, hey, just take it easy on my son, it's just a test? Hell no. Okay, he was humiliated. Okay, he was beaten to the core. All right, he was crucified. All that. He was beaten. They took his they tore the flesh off his skin, off his. He was even able to on the cross. And I'll get that in the book of Psalms right now. I believe it's the 22nd chapter, verse 17, around there. Because when he was on the cross, he was able to look down and see his ribs. He was able to literally see his ribs, because they literally, tore off his flesh. Imagine that. He was beaten so bad that he was able to look and see his ribs. Can you imagine how much he was bleeding and all that? That bad. So, can you imagine the Lord, and that pleased the Lord? Imagine. So look what his son had to go through. And that's his son. So imagine those of you that are trying to fight up against him, are trying to fight him, those that the Lord hates. It's going to be very painfully, extremely painfully, ladies and gentlemen, beyond your imagination. That's why when people scoff or whatever, hey, it don't even bother us. You want to join the left-hand side? Hey, it don't bother us at all. That's your choice. You're freaking crazy. You're going against the Lord. But remember, the Lord sees everything. But that's on you. Don't look at from a reaction from us. That's your choice, and that's all good. Because we understand there's a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And I will increase famine upon you. Okay, so right there you have. I will increase. So the Lord's going to increase it. It's not just going to slow down. All these things are going to be happening. These the famine and all that, it's not going to slow down. It's going to keep on going. And will break your staff of bread, right? Because the Lord's going to use these elites, to buying the farmlands, whatever. However, the Lord can even turn like your food that you guys have. Let's say those of you that are preppers, but the Lord's not with you. The Lord can literally make your water, turn into like blood, like bacteria, so you can't even drink the water. It's the Lord's that strong. You think, well, how can somebody reach it if it's underneath the house and it's in a plastic bottle and all that in a box? The Lord can do that. The Lord's that strong. He can literally plague all your food that you have in your underground bunker to like maggots and worms, and then turn your water into like just something that's like totally bad. Yeah, he don't have to have somebody just pour it in there, poison it. The Lord can just do that by his mind, by using spiritual power. This is what you got to understand, That's why you simpletons out there that think, oh yeah, we're just going to store up some food and, hide underground. And the Lord can literally make all your food disappear. He can do that too, like a magic trick, but for real. I'm just using that for example. How someone a magic trick, they make like something disappear. The Lord can literally, those of you that are going against the Lord, like he's saying this, the Lord can literally make all your food and water like disappear. Yup. So you go down there like, oh yeah, check it out. We're prepared. We're ready. You go down there to your bunker. It could just all be gone. The Lord can literally do that. That's what a lot of you guys are retards because you put the Lord in the box, you know? Like that dude, Noah Harari, where he's like, oh yeah, we can make the Lord as mad as we want. It's like, go ahead, you dumb shit. You know? The Lord is nothing to be played with. Absolutely not, you know? Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, just think that, oh yeah, we can do whatever, you know? The Lord don't see. Yo, the Lord sees everything. You gotta understand that. And you really gotta pay for that, especially those of you who are coming up against Him. You know, those of you that are trying, hey, you know, I'm right here with you guys. We're all in the same fight because we're trying. You know, but those of you that are, you know, willingly like going against the Lord, like on purpose, good luck to you, miss. Good luck to you, sir. You know, because the Lord is nothing to be played around with at all. You know, can you imagine like if you're in trouble with like the cartel or mafia, you'll be through. Imagine if you're in trouble with like FBI, CIA, your ass is grass. You know? So can you imagine the Lord? See? It's that much more extreme. Because you guys think, oh, it's the Lord, whatever, whoop-de-doo. It ain't no whoop-de-doo, Jeff. You know? Yeah, and don't get mad. Just sit down and eat your pastrami. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so can you imagine, you know? Just imagine you're in trouble with the American military. You know, they send like special ops after you. Your ass is grass. You know? Now imagine the Lord. You know? You're talking about the Lord here, you know? The creator of the heavens and earth. You see how big the ocean is? And you guys think, oh yeah, the Lord can't get me. What are you, stupid or retarded? Huh? No. Let's hear it, you know? I know a lot of you wicked ones out there like, nah, you know, I don't want to hear it. That's enough. Shut it off. I don't want to hear it. Well, you're gonna hear it, compadre. Oh yeah. Could you imagine? Cause a lot of you put the Lord in the box, you know, like oh yeah, you know, it's just the Lord. Like it's just the Lord. You know, He created Satan. He created Yahushua. He created, you know, the planets and the galaxies. Just look at the ocean for an example. Look how big the ocean is, and the Lord just created that. Imagine. And here you are, like, oh, it's all good. If I die, I die. You're nuts, dude. Freaking crazy, man. Freaking crazy, man. Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 17. So the Lord, I will send upon you famine and evil beasts. There it is. Because famine, starvation, evil beasts going into, because remember, the Lord's going to have these animals turn on people. He's going to have newly created creatures out here. Oh yeah, like beasts, you know, like literal like beasts. Example I can give you guys right now that comes to mind is that movie, you know, Quiet Place. You know, Quiet Place, Day One, stuff like that, you know. But that's Esau's imagination. The Lord has creatures way worse than that are going to tear you guys limb from limb. You imagine? The Lord has all that He's going to release out here. Newly created creatures, you know. Yeah, that they're going to be coming in through portals and all that. So a lot of you guys think like, oh yeah, we're going to go in an underground bunker and hide. Remember, demons and angels, they can walk through walls. You morons. They can have a portal open up right next to your bed. And just, you know, they can have a portal open up right underneath your bed. And you can just fall. You know, fall right to them. This is why the Lord says these wicked are morons. Can you imagine that? They can just teleport, you know, like Goku. How many of you guys are like Dragon Ball Z fans out there? You know, like they teleport, instant transmission. They can do that. Just teleport right to where you're at. They don't have to worry about, oh, there's a concrete walls and titanium and the angels have to break a lock. No, they can literally go right to your room. Imagine. You know, they can literally teleport right next to you. Like, what's up, Saucy? You know, what's going on, Sally? What's up, Frenchie? You know, you remember you were talking trash about the Lord? No. Let's hear it. And they shall bereave thee, and pestilence, right? All right, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee. So pestilence, pestilence is talking about, once again, the pandemic. All right, and those you already know. Okay, it was the first pandemic we had. I'm not gonna go too much into that, but you already know. Information. It was the first pandemic that we had. They give you that resource. You guys had to take the juicy juice for healing. What was that juicy juice to heal from the first pandemic? Remember, it was created from a military project called DARPA. And they had Zypher and Johnson, just put their label on it. That way, they gave you guys the illusion that it came from like a pharmaceutical background, that it was legit. Because if they just say, oh yeah, it's FDA approved. Remember, they control everything, so all they gotta do is put a stamp on it and say, oh yeah, it's approved. But that's why the Lord says He's gonna send you guys, you wicked ones out there, strong delusions. All right, because the top elites are deceiving you. What does that word mean, deceive? That word deceive is a very powerful word, because that word deceive means to trick you, because you're believing in a lie. Because a lot of you took it and you say, damn, I messed up. Why? Because you thought you were doing the right thing. All right, not talking down on you, because you were just trying to be a good fellow citizen, a good Samaritan. You're just the news told you, all right, you're just doing what you were told. You're not really well learned. You don't have the Lord on your side. So, but I mean, you were just following orders. It's not like they just said, all right, well, take that, take that juicy juice and stuff, and you're gonna be healed from that. But a lot of people are all jacked up now because you're trusting in the devil. Remember, that word devil does not mean a red reptile with a pitchfork with horns waiting for you, burning underneath the ground in hell for eternity. No, that word devil simply means deceiver, false accuser. See? Because the wicked are professional liars. They're professional liars. That's why they have secret society, stuff like that. Why? Because they're hiding stuff. How come they don't just come out and say, yeah, we run this bitch? Let's hear it. All right? Any, mafia or, big old society, do they tell you, oh, this is where our hangout's at? This is where the boss is at? This is what we do? No, hell no. All right? Why? Because they're doing something bad. Because they're hiding something. It's obvious, right? All right, then, mijo. All right, then, mija. See? There it is. Very simple. And pestilence, because Bill Gates told you out of his own mouth that if the first one didn't get your attention, the second one will. See that? So, with that being said, you got to understand that there's more coming down the pipe. You have the XEC variant out there, the disease X, bird flu, monkeypox, you name it, and there's much more coming down the pike. And once again, they are going to turn people into zombies, the wicked, the elites, whoever it is. I don't know if it's the Moabites, primarily it's the left-hand side, because they're going to bring the wicked, all the bad times. But people will be turned into like zombies or whatever out here, because I had that vision from the Lord. That's very real. Facts. It ain't like, oh, that's, ain't going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. I had a vision from the Lord, that's going to go down. But that's left-hand side business, Facts. I just know it's going to happen. I'm not too worried like, oh, who's going to bring it in? This is how it's going to happen. I ain't worried about that. I'm just here to give you the word and tell you it's coming. Repent and trust in the Lord. But is that going to come down the pike? Oh, it is. And how's the wicked going to bring it? I don't know. Maybe through the towers. I don't know. And I don't care either, because that's their business. They're on the left-hand side. It's what they do. I'm focused on my walk. I'm on the right-hand side. See? We follow the Lord. I don't care what no one says. Just like Yahushua says. We know we worship. Just like that, So it doesn't matter what anyone says. Because, because we're not liars over here. Yeah, we're not perfect. We may need, everybody needs adjustments, but, we speak the truth, We have a good conscience because we're not trying to hurt nobody. We're not lying to nobody, Facts. So, whatever happens, we're taking it head on with a smile, and we're diving into the scriptures and we're calling on the Lord. And that's it. And we're being strong and we're having faith. And that's all we can do. I ain't worried about all these details about, where's it at and, we just gotta know it's coming. That's it. And pestilence and blood shall pass through thee. So it's coming. to your doorstep, to a city near you, and I will bring the sword upon thee, martial law, UN troops, sleeper cells, wars, World War III, civil wars, because people are going to be fighting for food, water. Oh yeah, remember the famine of the word? Because the internet's going to be shut down. You're not going to be able to just go on the internet and go on the TV and see what's going on. Everything's going to be shut down. So whatever you know, that's it. It's just you and the Lord. That's it. It ain't no just, oh, wait a minute, time out. Nah, that's it. It's going to be game on. See? So you see how important it is to get this information now? Soak it up like a sponge, baby. Like a sponge? Like a sponge, mijo. Like a sponge, mijo, because once it's shut down, that's it. It's just whatever you know, you and the Lord. And if your family's protected, by the Lord, that's it. See, because you're not going to be able to, what was that again? And that's it. It's game time. It's kind of like a boxer. When he's in the ring, you can, do all that training. But once the ref says, all right, let's get it on, and that you hear that bell, ding, 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 that's it. It's you and the opponent. That's it. If you weren't prepared, if you didn't train, you're going to get your ass kicked. Excuse my Italian. It's that simple. So that's why those of you that are messing around, that's fine, but that's on you, because you're going to be that much less prepared when these serious times come down the pipe. It's on you, remember that. Especially those of you that are wicked, you're just going to be destroyed. We're not worried about you or concerned about you at all. Imagine, because you're going against the Lord. To a lot of you think, oh, it's just the Lord. What do you mean it's just the Lord? You're freaking nuts, man. I, the Lord, have spoken it. There you have it. So who spoke of it? The Lord. So if he's saying it, it's going to go down, player. Alright, let me get that. Let me get that scripture for you guys real quick. Okay, here we go. And not to get off topic, but, I was going into, I told you that the Lord was crucified so bad that, he was crucified so bad that, he was able to look down and see his ribs. Remember that? So here's that scripture, right? The book of Psalms, chapter 22. Let's go down. Here we go. Let's go down to the 16th verse. And we're going to read down to the 17th verse. Psalms 22, verse 16 and 17. For this is the Lord speaking. Yahushai, who the world stubbornly calls Jesus Christ. For dogs have compassed me, because yet he was betrayed by our own people. That's why the same thing's happening today, because Esau has our same people building cases on the men of the Lord and the women too. Facts, because it's the same thing all over again. There's no new thing underneath the sun. The book of Psalms, chapter 22, verse 16, Salakia. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me, because they surrounded him. Same thing that they did with King David, same thing that they're doing with those of you that believe. Because if you don't know, remember, it's not to get all, get all paranoid, stuff like that. It's just for your information. Especially if you're teaching the word, you're completely surrounded. You're completely surrounded, and they're building a case on you right now. You're being set up. And there's nothing really you can do. It's just trust in the Lord, because if they want to, they can just make something up, so you don't have to be like, oh, I better just do the best you can, because just know if they're going to set you up, they're going to set you up. That's that. You just got to enjoy the ride, baby. But if the Lord's with you, he's going to deliver you. So don't worry about too much like, oh, well, if I do this, and, of course, yeah, use wisdom, but you just got to understand that the wicked do control this place. So if they want to set you up, they'll set you up. It's nothing. So just don't worry about that too much. But just know the Lord's with you. But know that, especially those of you that are teaching, oh yeah, you're surrounded. Oh yeah, these elites, they have tabs on you. But that's neither here nor there. That's just for your general information. That's it. Moving on. They pierced my hands and my feet. It's the Lord, remember, they pierced him to the cross. Here's the main point here. Psalms 22 and 17. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me, because the Lord, he was able to look. He looked down after he was put on the cross, and he was able to see his ribs, because that's how bad they beat him. They tore his skin off him, his flesh. He was able to see his ribs. Imagine how bad he was beaten. Extremely bad. For you Israelites. And that's why the Lord died for us. And that's why those of you that are going against him, like the Lord's like, hey, the Lord, he sacrificed his life for you. And here you are working with Esau, with these agents, just for some money. But that's on you. It ain't, it is what it is. See? And that's our Lord. The Lord was very humble. Remember, he even washed his disciples' feet. The Lord wasn't out there like, yeah, what are you going to do for me? Nah, the Lord's like, what can I do for you? And that's how we are, the servants and prophets of Yahweh Shem Shai. We don't go around like, yeah, we got the word. What are you going to do for me? You can't talk to me. We're above you guys. Ha, ha, ha. No, we're like, what do you need? I'm here to help. Talk to me, mijo. Talk to me, mijo. What's going on? Is there any way I can help? Here's the word. Here's some shekels. What's going on? See? Oh, absolutely. Okay, so now let's go to Slakia. Let's go to another chapter in Ezekiel. Oh, snap. There it is. So, here we go. All right. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. Pestilence, because there's going to be a lot more things coming, Remember, people are going to, they are going to turn, the elites, whatever, the wicked left-hand side, they are going to turn people into zombies, like monsters. Yeah, I don't know how, but it's going to happen. Oh, hey, remember that movie World War Z? Remember that movie I Am Legend with Will Smith? Stuff like that, A good example that I can tell you guys, for you guys to look up right now if you're not familiar, okay, with movies, because you can just Google it. Just Google people that have taken bath salt, like that drug. That's what I saw, because it's not like if you guys ever seen that movie Shaun of the Dead, or remember like that movie The Walking Dead, how you see zombies but they're walking all slow, like that music video, Michael Jackson, that movie Thriller, when the zombies are like, like all slow and stuff, I'm trying to do a good interpretation, but they're not going to be like, they may have some, but the ones that I saw, they were very ferocious. They were very vicious. So whatever, however they're going to turn people, once again, the wicked, all right? Because they have a green light from the Lord. The Lord is giving them the window to tear shit up. You got to understand that. Because the Lord's going to use the wicked to judge the wicked. But the righteous, you're still going to be among them, but the angels and 144,000 are going to be protecting you guys. That's facts. That's going to be something else to see, because, the miracles and all that the angels, imagine that, like you're about, like let's say the enemy has you cornered, and you're like, damn, that's it, I'm going out, and the angel comes down at the last second, like a clutch play, the fourth quarter, you come down to the final 7 seconds, and then that person in basketball hits that three-pointer to win the game, like that clutch play, that clutch shot. That's how it's going to be, because a lot of you are going to be in situations where like, damn, I'm through, and the Lord's going to send an angel or 144,000 to save you right there, right at the last moment. So can you imagine that? You guys ever seen that movie Immortals? Remember when those angels, they came down and to fight those titans? Like that, because the angels are going to be like that. Imagine seeing that. Remember how fast those angels were moving in that movie Immortals? They were turning those the enemies into like juice, because that's how hard they were hitting them. That's how the angels are going to be moving out here, like lightning speed. Oh yeah, like Goku and Vegeta when they're like Super Saiyan 4, when you see them fighting in the air, like you can barely see them, you just see like, lights. That's how fast the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and the angels and the 144,000 are going to be moving out here. Like you'll barely be able to see them, because they're going to be moving faster than lightning. Oh yeah, spiritual powers, doing Kamehamehas. Oh yeah, they got that from the scriptures. Because the angels and the 144,000, they can really do Kamehamehas. Like for reals. Shoot laser out of their eyes, fly, teleport, all that. Heck yeah, manipulate the elements, water, fire, the air, the ground. Imagine seeing that right before you. You want to talk about action, Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. See that? So the pestilence are coming. There's more, more diseases coming. Bill Gates told you out of his own mouth. If the first one didn't get your attention, the second one will. Klaus Schwab is straight telling you they're planning on taking out 6 billion people next year. And if you still got to scratch your head and say, well, that's on you then, knucklehead. And the famine within, starvation. He that is in the field shall die. See? With the sword. Because those of you that, go out there, because a lot of you are head of your households. If you run out of food, you're going to have to go out there and get food, Go out there and, get it how you live. It's called survival to the finish, last man standing. But remember, you're not going to be the only one out there trying to survive for yourself or for your families. You're going to have predators out there. You're going to have grade A predators out there. You have grade A teams out here. Remember, the Russians are here. The Chinese are here. You're going to have other Americans, out here fighting. You're going to have UN troops, and don't forget about the technology that the wicked are bringing. Remember, because they're going to be real Terminators out here, real androids, killer drones, all that. So when you go out there, it ain't going to be, I'll be back, honey. I'm just going to go look for some food. I'll be right back. Nah, you may not come back. It's going to be wild out here in the city because everyone's going to be looking for food. You're not going to be the only one, Johnny. And that's real talk. Facts, baby. And he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour them. See? Because these big cities like Los Angeles, Dallas, big cities, it's gonna be complete war zones. Why? Because there's a lot of people. Case in point, the more mouths there are, there's more mouths to feed. Because no matter what, let's say like even your special ops, you're a veteran, you're ex-military, whatever. You're regular civilian, 9 to 5. It don't matter how prepared you are. It don't matter how strong you are. You have to have food and water to survive. Some people can go longer than others, but it don't matter how tough you are. If you're a black belt, if you're a Navy SEAL, you could probably, of course, go a little bit longer than others, but you're immortal. You have terrestrial body and this third dimension. So you will have to have food and water. Absolutely. Because you have terrestrial body. And this is the third dimension. All right, the angels and the Lord are coming from the fourth dimension, the spiritual realm, which this world calls the quantum realm. That's why you have quantum physics, quantum computing, because they call it the quantum realm. You ever seen like that movie Ant-Man? Just to kind of give you like a little example, Yeah, but that's very real. Like the different realms and all that, that's very real. And the Lord created all that. That's where He's coming from. See that? So before I close out here, I'm gonna inform you about those like those zombies. So they're not because Esau, I'm sure he's creating creatures too in his labs. Because what you gotta understand is the Edomites, Esau, he's like a mad scientist. You ever seen that cartoon Dexter's Laboratory? What was that dude doing every day? What was that little Edomite doing every day? He was down there creating robots, testing stuff. That's what he's doing. That's what these Edomites are doing. They're underground, mixing DNAs, making monsters, like literally, making robots. Like that movie Transformers, stuff like that. They got that stuff. They're gonna release all that. Yeah, machines and all that, big time, 100%. You're about to see all that out here. Remember, it's not just them though, because the righteous, you guys got help. See, without the Lord, that's when you fear, because you're like, oh snap, the elites are gonna shut it down. Damn, there's gonna be robots, guillotines, like shit, Maybe get a little scary, but once you know that you have help, that they're not the only ones, and that they're not superior, the right hand is superior. Yeah, they may control right now. They may have control of this place right now, but they're not top dog. See that? This is what you gotta understand. But back to those to that vision I had, just to let you know that that's gonna happen. Not too much on who's gonna bring it and how, but people will be turned into like a zombified state. So just look up like Google, like people who've been on bath salt, check them out. But like that, people were literally like that, like just ferocious, like vicious, and there may be some people who turn into like slow zombies, maybe, who knows? There's a lot coming down the pipe. I'm just sharing what I was shown from the Lord through a vision, and that's real vision, that's real talk. um yeah, people are gonna be turned like that movie I Am Legend. Like those, they're like fast zombies, like people who are just like kind of got messed up. They're a virus or whatever. World War Z, stuff like that. They were like that. That's how I seen them, because I was out here in the cities shooting. I was running. You might say I was running. Yeah, because those things were they were very like ferocious, like very vicious. So however, and we're talking about people, because they turn the wicked. The wicked turn people into zombies. And I'm sure, remember, they have clone. Yeah, and I know that they have clones out there. Monsters and stuff like that. That they're creating like beasts in those laboratories. But these were actually people that like that movie. Remember, once again, Shaun of the Dead or The Walking Dead, because people, they get bit, then they get affected like that, because these were humans who transformed into zombies. Yeah, they didn't just like come out of a lab. Like these people, like they were affected somehow. The Lord didn't let me see like how Esau did it. I don't really care, because that's his deal on the left hand side. That's their business. But what I do know is that it's gonna go down. That they will turn people into like zombies like that. Through his technology, whatever. I don't care. That's their deal. If the Lord shows me, I'll share it with you guys. But I'm not too much. I just know that it's gonna come. Facts. So yeah, they were like very like ferocious, like very vicious, like big time, big time. Oh, absolutely. So with that, just know that starvation is coming in a very real way, very real, very serious. Because can you imagine you can't feed your families or yourself, and you have to just watch your family members rot right in front of you, and to go out by starvation is more painful than a gun, because it's a slow, painful, agonizing death, because your body eats itself. It's very slow, very painful. It's just something to think about. Oh, and then martial law, of course. Martial law, yes, is martial law is going to be here in a very serious way, right around the corner. It's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. So soak up this word. Pray, fast. Learn what you can. Learn. You don't gotta get all deep. Because there's different members of the body, but take this seriously and know that it's this ain't no fairy tale. It's gonna go down out here. And if you're not prepared, you're the one who's gonna suffer. You and your family. You may be laughing right now, those of you that don't believe, but it's gonna be very serious, because once the shit hits the fan, excuse my Italian, once the society shuts down, and there's these military sleeper cells, people going to guillotines and concentration camps, it's gonna be very serious. So with that, take heed, repent, and also rejoice. Don't be afraid. The Lord's coming. You guys have help. The angels and the 144,000 are out here. So with that, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Stay strong, stay prayed up. On your feet, soldier. Shalom.